welcome back to my channel. I'm Chris, and here we talk about business, candle making, and how to boss up. So let's get into it. I'm going to be talking about some things that I wish I knew before starting my candle business. A lot of these things have to do with candle making in general, mostly because when I first started making candles, I researched so much, mainly because I wanted to learn as well as I could. And through my learning process, I started to understand that no matter how much advice I get from other people, honestly, it just comes down to me actually doing it. Understanding that candle making is a process and you need to document that process. In the time that it takes to understand the candle making process, you have to be patient with yourself. I was not patient with myself. I quit, I stopped, didn't make candles for a long period of time, and then I got back to it. And I think that the second go round when I got back into it, I allowed myself to have fun and I allowed myself to make mistakes. And also, for a long majority of time when I first started making candles, I didn't document my candle making process, meaning when I would be testing candles, testing wicks, I wouldn't be writing those things down. So if I made a candle that smelled really good, had a really good hot throw, really good cold throw, I had no idea how I could replicate that. I would just guesstimate. Like, I know I make candles this way, so I'm gonna just make candles this way. But in reality, it was a lot of guessing involved, and I feel like because I guessed so much, I wasted a lot of products. Another thing I wish I knew before starting my candle business was understanding that sometimes what works for other people may not work for you. You know, we have all of these descriptions, we have the ability to research so much, but in reality, we have no idea what that person's candles smell like, how great they are, and also what may be great to someone else may not be great for you. And so you're gonna have to put in those hours to really understand what it is that you're looking for in a candle. Are you looking for a candle that looks creamy, that's also clean? Are you looking for a candle that smells great? Or what are the most important parts of your product to you? Because I had to figure that out, and there was a lot of things about soy wax that I didn't like. There were a lot of things about paraffin wax that I didn't like. There were a lot of things about all these waxes that I didn't like, and I really had to put in time and work and effort to learn what are the best qualities of each of these waxes, each of these fragrance oils, each of these wicks, so that I can create the type of candle that I want to sell. So I will say that, you know, let these tutorials, let this research guide you to a point where you feel like you can take creative control. And sometimes that takes time, that takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of testing. And as we know, testing ain't where it's at. I don't like testing. Nobody really likes testing. They just want the best product. But honestly, those hours, those long nights, that is what's going to help you make the greatest candle possible. And I try to shortcut those things a lot of the time. Piggybacking off of what works for other people may not work for you also comes down to fragrance oils, fragrance loads, what type of wax you use, and just a variety of things, right? I know people that heat their wax to their soy 464 wax to 160. I know people that heat their wax to 170, 180. I know people that, you know, pour at 120 or 110 or the lowest possible temperature. Honestly, there's just so many ways for you to make a candle, and there's so many factors that go into that process that I would say I just wish that I was more patient with myself. I wish that I gave myself a little bit more grace, and I just want to encourage y'all to do the same, because it's a lot of chemicals involved, it's a lot of science, it's a lot of things that you need to work out throughout the process. So don't cheat yourself by trying to have a fast track into like a great candle. Starting with understanding what you're looking for and what a great candle is to you, and working towards that through trial and error. Which leads me to trial and error. There was a lot of trial and error for me. I wish that I knew that wick sizes were so important. Honestly, jumping into things, I was like, if it light on fire, I'm good. Who care about a wick size? It's a wick. We just need a wick, right? No, boo-boo. No, boo-boo. Wick size is so important, and I just did not care about wick size for the longest. I was like, as long as it's light on fire and it make it smell good, we good. No, at all, not at all, period. I wish I knew the importance of wick sizes. One, because you waste so much wax if your wick is too big. You burn through the wax so much faster when you could have almost double the burn time. You're cheating yourself, and you're cheating the people that you're going to be selling these candles to by not properly wicking your candle. Wick size is very important because wicks really do help your scent fill a space. That's where the magic happens. The wick and the fragrance oil, you know what I'm saying? So I would say that, like, understanding that wick size is important, understand that fragrance oil load is important, understanding your wax is important, and honestly, it's just a trial and error. Sometimes a little bit more wax may help, sometimes a little bit less wax may help. Having a lot of fragrance oil, having a little bit of fragrance oil might help, or less fragrance oil might help. But honestly, some people think that more fragrance oil means more scent, and it doesn't all of the time. So I'm just saying. Which leads me into my next point. There are facts and there are feelings. Some facts are that a candle has a wick, and a wick lights on fire. That is a fact. There is a fact that each wax, if you look on the manufacturer's recommendations, it's usually on each website that you buy your wax from. The manufacturer's recommended heated temperature, which means that you will heat your wax to this temperature so that it is at its peak point of performance, and you know, that is when it is expanded the most, right? Those are facts that you can find on a website, that you can find on your manufacturer's guideline, handbook, whatever they call it. And there are facts that, you know, in order to have a fragrant candle, you got to add fragrance oil. You know what I'm saying? Those are like little facts, but there are also feelings, right? Feelings that, you know, between this amount and this amount of fragrance oil may help my candle smell a lot better, right? Some of those things are feelings, right? That's why you hear so many stories about people saying, oh, I only use 5%, or oh, I only use 8%, or oh, I only use 10%. And they're all different, but they're using the same wax, right? Because there are facts and there are feelings, and depending on what you like and depending on what you do to make your candle will ultimately determine its performance. So, which leads me into my next point. So you should be documenting your candle making process, right? Whether it's a notebook or whether it's masking tape and you write it on each candle that you make. I use masking tape and a Sharpie, and pretty much I write down how much of fragrance oil I use, what temperature I added the fragrance oil at, what temperature I let it cool down to before I poured, so my pour temperature, what temperature I heated my wax to, and at what temperature I added my fragrance oil, right? So that I know. Oh, and I add what kind of wick I use, right? So all of these things I'm documenting. If it works, if I like the candle, if I like the way it smells, boom. All right, boom, that worked. I like that. Test the wicks, test everything, and boom. It's popping. It's just popping, right? So testing your wax, testing your wicks, testing your fragrance oils is a big part of the candle making process if you're looking to sell candles, right? If you're just looking to make candles as a hobby, boom, you good, boo, whatever floats your boat, however you like making your candles, you know what I'm saying? But if you are making the candles to sell, testing and also documenting. Keep a notebook, right? Write down your candle making recipes, what works best for you, and that will go a long way. I didn't do that for the longest, and I'll be like, oh, I like how that smell. How I do that and don't even remember. So yeah, whether it's if that's masking tape or whether that's a journal or whatever it is. And also I put the date of the candle, right? Because they say you're supposed to let your soy candles cure for 2 weeks, right? So I keep a journal, or not a journal. I write the date, write the fragrance oil percentage, when I added the fragrance oil, what I heated the wax to temperature wise, and when I poured, what temperature I poured at, and the wick size. Those are the things that I add to my masking tape and make a good candle. So I say all of that to say, don't get discouraged, right? You'll see so many people making candles. You'll be a part of all these groups. You'll do this, you'll do that, and you'll wonder, why doesn't my candle perform that way? Or why doesn't my candle do that? Or why doesn't my candle do what they're saying their candle does? And honestly, if you're not in a room with them to smell their candles, you don't know what good to them is, one. And two, like, it's trial and error. You use people's feedback, you use people's advice to lead you into the direction of where you should be at, you know? And then you tweak it. You keep tweaking it. You keep tweaking it. You find things you like, and then you tweak it. You find more things you like, and then you tweak it. So I just want to end with that. Thank you for watching. And we are officially 4 days away from launch. So I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up and comment down below. And also, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.
You told me I could trust you. Don't die. I could really use it. Everybody need love, and niggas like me. You told me I could trust.